Hello. So today I want to talk about Mary, mother of Jesus. So I'm sure we all know the story because it's told at Christmas every single year. So Mary was engaged to Joseph, as we all know, and I can imagine she was literally just going about her life, doing her thing, planning her wedding. And if you've ever been involved in a wedding, then you understand the level of detail and the planning that goes into a wedding. The things that you have to think about are endless. There's just things upon things upon things upon things that you won't even thinking about until you're involved in a wedding. It's one of those situations. So I can imagine this is Mary, just chatting and chilling with her girls, getting ready for her wedding and having conversations like, so on my days, girls, right, what is the plan? Yeah, so basically I'm gonna have like these blue flowers and they're gonna match the centerpieces. It's gonna be so pretty. And oh my days, my dress. So basically my dress, yeah, is like this lace like this little lace number, and it comes in the waist and it kind of puffs out, and then you've got this tray. This is Mary, I'm sure she's just loving life, just planning her wedding, doing her thing. And then boom, out of nowhere, an angel appears. And not just any angel. No, 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 no. The angel of angels, Gabriel himself, rocks up and is like, hey, I'm sure it wasn't like that, but he comes and tells Mary that she's going to get pregnant by the Holy Spirit. And then you know the story, so I won't need to go into detail. But what I found interesting was that the Bible didn't actually say there was a conversation between Mary and Joseph. But could you imagine if there was? Obviously, the angel told Joseph the situation. But could you imagine if Mary actually had to tell Joseph what happened? Could you imagine? Like, what would that conversation look like? I can imagine it go a little bit like this, right? So this is Mary calling Joseph to let him know the situation. Hey babe, so yeah, basically, that obviously after the wedding we was planning to go traveling for a year and then maybe go on a new mission trip somewhere, and then we was going to come back, and you was going to go into the worship team and doing stuff in the worship team, and I was going to be the youth pastor, and then I was going to settle down, get a house, have some kids, get a dog, yeah, and then just carry on doing ministry for a couple of years, and then maybe do this, do that. Yeah, basically, something's happened. Everything's changed because I'm pregnant. I just could not imagine Mary's thoughts, Mary's mind at that time. Everything has just been tipped upside down. In a split second, God has just changed up her life, right? And I sat there and thought when I read it recently, can you imagine the dreams and the visions and the thoughts and the plans that she had in place for her and Joseph? Everything that she thought she was going to do, everything has just completely changed. And I would have loved if she'd have wrote a diary, day by day, just writing down her thoughts and hearing her heart, and looking through her eyes about the confusion, the disappointment, and the uncertainty that was facing her on a daily basis. It would have been amazing to read. Unfortunately, we haven't got that, but could you imagine what that would have been like? Because literally, God just changed up her life, like split second. But this is what God had planned for her. This was Mary's story. But I'm sure Mary wouldn't have wrote that story for herself if she had the chance, and I'm sure Jesus wouldn't have wrote his story and the plan that he had to accomplish for himself. I'm sure he wouldn't have chose to die on a cross. But the key point here is that they both understood that their life wasn't their own. And over Easter I did an Easter monologue, obviously, Easter monologue, about Mary Magdalene, okay? And she was reflecting on her first encounter with Jesus, and then after seeing him risen from the dead. And I read over this recently, and some of the words that I wrote really jumped out at me, and I think they're really important to remember and to reflect on right now. So I'm just going to read you some of the lines. So this is talking about Jesus. It says, the purpose you came to accomplish was accompanied by the pain that you suffered. Hand in hand they went, teaching us a valuable lesson that couldn't be bent nor broken, a demonstration of humbly accepting the walk after we are chosen. And then later on it says, darkness dispersed and stood by, and holy, holy was all the angels could cry as they witnessed a love greater than from any mother, father, husband or wife. This man that just died for me, I owe him my life. And I really loved reading through those words the other day because it helped me get my perspective right. You know, the words that this man that just died for me, I owe him my life. And, you know, Jesus giving us the example, the demonstration of humbly accepting the walk after we are chosen. And it made me think that actually, yeah, we have our plans and our purposes and our dreams and our visions, but our lives are not our own. And our lives fully surrendered to God. What we plan and what we purpose, it may be different to what God has planned and purposed for our lives. And I just was encouraged reading this. I think it's an encouragement for all of us to look at Jesus and to look at Mary and to go, do you know what? I'm gonna follow the example that you set for me, and I'm gonna humbly accept the walk after I've been chosen for the plan and the purpose that God has for my life, even if it's different to what I wanted or to what I thought. So I thank you for listening and tuning in today.